And what would you say? I mean, what were the key difficulties of writing in Street of London or research?
Well, it was overwhelmingly difficult to finish the PhD because I'd really got a sort of impossible topic. First of all, Clifford and others had warned me. They said, you can't do this. They said, London's too big. It's too big a topic. You will never, ever do it. And I said, I'll show you, I'll do it. But the problem was that all the actual records were of two kinds. First, there were census records. The Victorian censuses showed occupations in some detail, except that they were by place of residence, not place of work. And they stopped being useful after 1861. And the trouble was that when I started, the 1951 census, which would have been the thing I needed, wasn't ready, and it never got ready, it wasn't out. The critical industry tables, I think, were only produced about 56, 57, so I was able to use them for the book, but not for the PhD. And as a result, I had some really rather junky data in the PhD from 1939, which were really no good. But finally, by getting the 1951 census, I was able to make a straight comparison over 100 years, which was useful. I also had directories, the Post Office London directories, which showed the location of every individual company. And these were really down to very small one-person companies, which was vital because I mapped in the research the distribution of these classic workshop industries like clothing and furniture and printing. And I also used a lot of very interesting historical evidence from the Victorian Royal Commissions and indeed from Charles Booth's Life and Labour of the People in London, where the research was done in the 1880s, much of it, funnily, by the young Beatrice Potter she then was. So I drew very, very heavily on the direct evidence to the great Victorian Royal Commissions of around 1890, such as the Select Committee on Alien Immigration,